electrodynamics from concept to Maxwell's equations. Now let us discuss about Ampere's circuital law. Ampere's circuital law is about the current passing through a loop and magnetic field created around the loop. According to Ampere's law, this we know that whenever current passes through a conductor, magnetic field is developed around the conductor. So this is the conductor shown by cross symbol, and through which the current is passing, current is flowing. So around this conductor, a magnetic field will be developed. So this Ampere's law relates the magnetic field and the current. Magnetic field developed due to current flowing through the conductor. So magnetic field and current are related with each other according to Ampere's circuital law, and which says that the line integral of magnetic field intensity H around a closed path is exactly equal to direct current enclosed by the path. Mathematically, we can again write this as H dot dl, line integral H dot dl is equal to I. Now here H is the magnetic field intensity, similar to electric field intensity E, it is magnetic field intensity. So again H into dl will be giving the work done, and that is equal to current. That is magnetomotive energy, we can say. Now this law is useful to determine magnetic field intensity when current distribution is symmetrical. Now again we know that the magnetic induction capital B, which is a vector quantity, this is equal to mu 0 H, where this mu 0 is the permeability of the medium. Then with this we can rewrite the equation as line integral of B dot dl is equal to mu 0 I. This is known as Ampere's circuital law. It gives the work done in carrying a unit magnetic pole once around the closed arbitrary path linked with the current. As you can see here, this H dot dl, as I was saying before a few minutes, this is the work done. Which work done? Work done in carrying unit magnetic pole. So if we consider here unit magnetic pole, and this unit magnetic pole has to be moved through this circular path, then work is required to be done. So H is the electric field intensity, dl is the line element. So HdL will give the work done in moving the magnetic pole through small line element. For entire path, we have to integrate this equation. So that is equal to H dot integration of H dot dl. So that is we have written in statement form. It is the work done in carrying unit magnetic pole once around closed arbitrary path linked with the current. Now let us move ahead. Ampere's circuital law continued. Now Ampere's circuital law is line integral of H dot dl is equal to I. Now we can again convert this line integral into surface integral, uh, and replacing the current in terms of current density, we can write the law as. Now here we are doing many things simultaneously, so let us understand one by one. First of all, convert this line integral into surface integral. So as usual, by using that Stokes theorem, we can write this line integral as surface integral of del cross H dot dA. Surface. So this LHS is equal to this line integral according to that Stokes law. So line H dot dl is equal to curl H dA. Now here again we have said that we have to use here for this I on the right hand side there is a current. Now we have to write down this current in terms of current density. Now what is current density? Current density, now to understand the current density we have to understand first What is meant by current? So as you all know, current is nothing but movement of charges. Motion of charges constitute the current. So imagine the charges flowing through the conductor. So when the charges flows through the conductor, when the charges moves through the conductor, they have to move across the cross-sectional area of the conductor. Understand? When charges moves through the conductor, they have to move across the cross-sectional area of the conductor. So obviously the current density, we can, with this we can define a new parameter called as current density as the current per unit area. Now what is current actually? Rate of flow of charge. Time rate of flow of charge is the actually current. Time rate of flow of charge. So current density will be given in terms of area as I upon area. So again, if we denote this current density with JF, or simply you may call it as J, current density J. So this J will be equal to I upon dA. So we can write J is equal to I dot dA, I into dA. So this will be the current density for the small surface element dA of the entire cross-sectional area of the conductor through which the charges are moving. So to have the total current, again we have to integrate this uh, J dot dA over the entire cross-section area of the conductor. So we can write the total current flowing through the conductor, which is in this case I, that will become as surface integral of JF dot dA. Now again here, since area are arbitrary, this equation holds good for any conductors of any cross sectional area. So we can write the integrants, we can equate the integrants and write down this curl H, that is curl H del cross H is equal to JF. Let call this equation as A, equation A. Now this equation is true only for steady current. For changing currents, we have to modify this equation. This equation needs modification. Why this needs modification? To understand this point, for instance, let us take divergence of the above equation. So when we take divergence of the equation, it will violate the equation of continuity, because the divergence of curl is always zero. Now let us see what I am saying here. So this is the equation A, which says that curl H is equal to J. Now from the mathematical vector identities, we know that if we take divergence of curl of a vector, then that is zero. So divergence of curl H in this case has to be zero according to vector identity. So we write here del dot del cross H. So this is divergence of curl H. This equal to this has to be, but this equation A is del cross H is equal to JF. So let us write down first of all divergence. So divergence of del cross H is equal to divergence of J. And according to vector identity, this has to be zero. Now, the equation of continuity says that this cannot be zero, because why? So to understand this, because this is in contradiction with the equation of continuity. Now what is equation of continuity? Equation of continuity is related to the conservation law of charge. Now what is conservation of charge? Conservation law of charge says that charge cannot be created or it cannot be destroyed. Total charge is conserved. So this equation of continuity is related to conservation of charge. Now what does it says? It says, now to understand this equation of continuity, let us consider a volume within which charges are present, and the charges moves across the surface of the volume. So the movement of charge can be expressed by what we call as a divergence of J, because movement of charge across the surface will constitute the current and it will be having current density. So movement of charges across the volume will be can be represented by divergence of current density. So for instance, now let us assume that the charges within the volume goes outside of the volume. They crosses the surface of the volume and goes out. So what will happen as a result? As the charge moves out of the volume, the charge density within the volume will decrease. So if rho is the charge density, then d rho by dt, or we can say dou rho by dou t, will represent here rate of change of charge density. Now why I am saying it is rate of change of charge density? If charges leaves the volume, the charge density will decrease. If charges adds into volume, enters into the volume, there is a increase in the charge density. So in general, d dou rho by dou t will indicate rate of change of charge density as a result of leaving or entering of the charges charges within the volume or the volume. So obviously, since total charge is conserved, charge cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. We can say that this divergence of current density and this rate of change of charge density should be equal and opposite to each other. This is what equation of continuity says. So according to equation of continuity, divergence of J is equal to minus d rho by dt, because these are equal and opposite. If charges leaves the volume, charge density decreases. If charges enters the volume, charge density increases. So these are opposite in opposite manner to each other. So, with this discussion, we come to the result that divergence of J is equal to dou rho by dou t. Minus sign is there. So, now this, so here there is a contradiction. When we have taken divergence of this equation, we have seen that according to vector identity, it has to be 0. But according to equation of continuity, it is not 0. So this equation A is not correct one. According to Maxwell, this equation A needs certain modification. So let us modify this equation A so as to have consistency with the equation of continuity. That should not get violated. So let us modify the equation A as del cross H is equal to JF plus JD. Here I tell you that this F stands for free charges and D stands for that bound charges. Current density due to free charges and current density due to bound charges. So let us write this curl H is equal to JF plus JD. We have modified the equation A because it was violating the equation of continuity. Now let us again take the divergence of this equation. So taking divergence, we can write del dot del cross H is equal to del dot JF plus del dot JD, which is equal to 0. This 0 is according to vector identity. Now uh, here we have to let us consider these two quantities. Divergence of JF plus divergence of JD is equal to 0. Now we know the value of divergence of JF from equation of continuity. So let us write down. So we can write divergence of JD is equal to minus divergence of JF, which is equal to dou rho by dou t according to continuity equation. Now again we can replace this rho in terms of Gauss law. Gauss law says that, as this we have seen earlier, divergence of D, where D is the electric flux density or electric displacement, So del dot D, divergence of D is equal to rho. So replacing this rho by divergence of D, we can write divergence of JD is equal to dou by dou T of rho, which is del dot D. So again rewriting this equation, we can arrive to the final result, that is del dot dou D by dou T. So we are having with this equation del dot GD is equal to del dot dou D by dou T. So removing the divergence operator, we can simply write as, so we have come with value of del dot GD as del dot dou D by dou T. So write down this value of del dot, the quantity which we have added in this equation, the value of that quantity is del dot dou D by dou T. So we can rewrite this equation as del dot del cross H is equal to del dot JF plus del dot dou D by dou T. Here it is written. And then removing the divergence operator, we can write del cross H is equal to JF plus dou D by dou T. So this is called as modified form of Ampere's circuital law, and this modification is done by Maxwell. With this, we are at the end of the presentation. At the end, uh, let us have a glimpse at Maxwell's equations. Now, this last column says that Gauss law for electrostatics. We have studied Gauss law for electrostatics, which says that divergence of D is equal to rho f. The Gauss law in magnetism says that del dot B is equal to 0. The Faraday's law says that curl E is equal to minus dou B by dou T. And the last law which we have studied just now, the Ampere's law, says that del cross H is equal to Jf plus dou D by dou T. So, friends, these laws are called, these equations are simply called as Maxwell's equations. So these are the four Maxwell's equations in differential form. On the other hand, these are the integral forms of the Maxwell's equations which we have studied. So depending upon our nature of the problem, we have to select differential form or integral form. As far as the integral form depict underlying laws, on the other hand, differential forms of the equations are useful in solving the problems. So with this, I would like to conclude my webinar. Thank you very much for your patience hearing.